Welcome back to the Gingium YouTube channel and to EM Industries here in Athens, Georgia. Today we're working on this thing, my quick release camper rack. We're gonna finish it. We're gonna add a kitchen, a water tank, storage, and a couple other nifty features. For now, let me show you the plan for today. Right now our Orville landing rack is just a rack with a rooftop tent and an awning on it. So the first thing we're going to do is create our storage system. It's going to consist of two things. For one, we are going to add rails across the bottom. Here we'll be able to, store our tubs. Are you kidding me? Oh, come on. What are the chances? Tubs, etc. On the outside of the rack, we're going to go ahead and create doors or sides to the rack, but it's going to be a mole panel. A mole panel is pretty much just a panel with a bunch of holes in it, right? What the holes allow you to do is strap various things to the outside, because you can run straps through the holes, etc., etc. Now these sides, these panels, are not going to be fixed in place. They're going to be able to open. They're going to have hinges on the bottom. One side's going to fold down to create a sort of shelf. The other side's going to fold up to create a shelf for the rooftop tent area. We'll have little buttons to lock them in, rubber stoppers. It'll be really nice. On the back of the rack, this is the back of the rack, right? So that's the awning. This is the rooftop tent. We're going to create a kitchen drawer that fills this space. It'll be able to slide out, and then this will open, and there will be storage inside to have our pots, pans, spices, etc. And then there will be a water tank up top here. And we'll have a hose, so we can use it with our kitchen and all sorts of stuff, yada, yada, yada. That is the very basic idea I have now. Obviously, things might change during the process, but that's the goal. I'd say without any further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the side panels because honestly, that's the thing I'm most excited for. Figuring out how the gas struts work, how the buttons, how the stoppers are gonna work. It's really getting my brain going, which I like. So we're gonna do that. Now, if you missed the last video where we built this, go check it out. It's an awesome video. Today, I have already removed the rooftop tent. As you can see, it's hanging up there. And I did move the awning mounts out a little bit so that the rooftop tent can be centered over the rack a little bit more. Now this panel, it doesn't have to be waterproof, so it's not gonna perfectly be flush around the whole thing, which will make it a little bit easier to build. It's gonna have a little gap. The hinges are gonna be on the bottom on this side, and it'll just have string limiters to have it open. So we're gonna start with this side. 15 inches tall. The bottom is going to be roughly 74 inches. A little less probably. And the top will be 77.5. There is no universal design for mole panels. You can have oval shapes, like the actual hole cut out. You can do whatever you want. And pretty much as long as there's holes in it and you can strap stuff or bolt stuff through it, it's a mole panel. And so I've kind of looked online. I found a design I like. I'm going to go ahead and do some CAD, get that design on a size that I like on the bed thing, and I have to design in places to mount the release buttons, the gas struts here, the hinges, the little rubber stoppers, right? So it's gonna be kind of a little intricate design. So we gotta do these in two pieces because they're so big. This is gonna be the longest cut I make on this table probably. So fingers crossed it works because I don't have enough material if one of them messes up. So it's all or nothing. Well, that worked out very good. I had to do it in a couple different pieces just because it takes so long. I didn't want to drain the compressor, the air compressor, but it looks really nice. I mean, this is just right out without any grinding. I really like the design. Got some just cool things on the outside. This is where the button will go in the center. This is where one of the hinges will go right here. And then, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and print the other one out, and then I have to weld it together in the center, right here. Well, the second panel didn't cut quite as well. The problem is that the actual like lifespan of the tip of the plasma cutter is like a couple hundred cuts. This was like a couple hundred cuts. So by the end, it was really struggling. I had to actually like cut some of the pieces out by hand with the angle grinder. And I actually already welded it together, and the welding it together did not go very well. As you can tell, well, you can't really tell. It's like a double hoop. Like it just didn't weld straight, or it warped while I was welding, even though I had it clamped down. Oh, and I think I just broke it. I don't know. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put a brace in here, because it's not strong enough just to be its own sheet, which sucks. We're gonna have to probably cover these things with 2 braces. And then the other thing that stinks about that is that it's gonna add more weight, and it's already heavy, and it's also gonna get rid of the flatness of the back, so it won't really act as a shelf anymore. So didn't quite go as well as I was hoping for. But I think it's still gonna be cool and still gonna be what I want. So we're gonna keep going. So adding that angle iron brace helped a lot with the rigidity. Like I can actually just pick it up and it doesn't flex. And it didn't add a whole lot of weight. It's still a bit warped. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's very minimal. I really just needed to do a better job at clamping it down when I welded. That was my bad. I can do it better on the next one. Now I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit heavier than I wanted. I just weighed it 30 pounds for this panel. 30 pounds ain't light. And now, like, weight isn't the biggest issue. You know, I've got a full-size truck, and the payload of the truck is, I think, like 1,200 pounds or something. I'm not worried about, you know, reaching the payload capacity, but the more weight you add, especially higher up, the worse it is off-roading. Do I ever really think I'm gonna be doing anything that crazy in this thing? No, but I would prefer to build it as light as possible, you know? The reason why I went with the steel is because it was sturdier. I was hoping I could get away without adding any bracing or whatnot, and it's way cheaper, it's like half the price. We're gonna continue as we are. I mean, I already made one, so might as well make the other and mount them and do all that. If in the future I want to replace them with aluminum ones, it'll be as simple as cutting it out in aluminum and just bolting the new one in. Really, it just has to be under 800 pounds because that's what the electric hoist can lift. And I think it should pretty easily be under that. It is a little more difficult to work with this thing though because it's so heavy, but I'm gonna try our best. These are the hinges we got. They're just kind of slide-on hinges, greasable, weldable. Instead of welding these straight to this and then straight to the, you know, the rack, we wouldn't be able to remove this in that case. So I made these 3 bolts. We're gonna make a little plate that will bolt to that, and that will weld to that. So we're gonna go and make the hinge plate now. Seeing that on there for the first time makes me happy because it looks freaking sick. Oh yeah, imagine once that's all painted and it's all geared up. So the next step is to actually install the catches. These things are 2 pieces. They're kind of like technically hood pins. There's this little button piece, and then there's the actual pin. The pin clips in like that, and then you can press the button, and it pops out. It's gonna be sick. That's great. As you can tell, rattling, right? Part of that is it's not fully welded, But to hopefully fix the rattles and make it nice and stiff, I've got a bunch of these rubber stoppers. So I'm gonna add a few of these, probably in pretty much in each corner, and maybe one in the middle. And there will be some preload on them so that when it clicks into these locks, it stops up against these rubber stoppers and hopefully no rattles. Well, I got it all fully welded up and adjusted the stoppers and tightened and everything. Pretty good. It still rattles a bit. The question is, will it actually rattle when it's like going down the trail? Well, I don't know. I think once the hinges are greased and stuff too, that'll help. Button. It's so smooth. Everything actuates so smooth, and like, listen to this. Ooh, that's nice. There are a few more things we have to add to this side, mostly cables to stop it from swinging all the way down, but I can't do that because it's on the lift right now, so that'll be later. But now we're gonna do the passenger side. The passenger side's fun because on that side, we're gonna have like gas struts and stuff. Remember, this one opens down, the other side opens up, because this one will be a shelf for when we're doing stuff on the ground, and the other one will be nice because it's on the same side as the rooftop tent, so we'll be able to put like our shoes up there, or something that we want to be able to access from just the window or the door. I'm just gonna cue the time lapse and make this second mold panel. Got it all loaded up on the computer. Hopefully this goes well. So we have the second panel cut out, grinded down, welded together, braced on the back, looking very good. So pretty much the same as the other side, except now the hinges are on the top and the holes for the buttons are on the bottom because this thing's gonna swing up. It did warp a little bit despite my best efforts. I used all these clamps. I need to get more clamps that actually go into the welding table, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get this thing fitted. This one opens up. Ha ha ha. So we want it to be able to open up so it's parallel to the top, and so it acts as a shelf for the rooftop tent. That's the idea. All right, now we gotta add a couple more stoppers and then add the gas struts, which I'm excited for. I got that additional stopper added, just one in the center so it doesn't obstruct getting into the storage area that much. And now we're onto the gas struts. I already made these brackets and stuff. I'm utilizing the holes that I cut into here, which is nice because it's adjustable. And then for the bottom one, I just have it bolted to a piece of mild steel so I can weld that to this tube. I'm gonna go ahead and tack this in, kind of like so, and see if it works. We want it to be level like this when it's fully open, but we want it to be able to close all the way. And there's some math that you can do to calculate exactly where to mount everything. I did a little bit of that, but honestly, trial and error. That's what I like. So we're gonna tack it in, see if it works. Okay, so it bottoms out before it can close. Haha, but it opens nicely. At least it will once there's another one. So I need to move it more into the center there. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Honestly, those actually seem like the perfect way. Now that there's the second one in there. So with both the mole side panels that open up, all finished up, mostly, like we're gonna add a few things later, but they're pretty much done. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna move on into the kitchen setup. But real quick, guys, I would like to take a moment from working on the Tundra to thank this video sponsor, Flexispot. Now, Flexispot is a company that makes a lot of things. They make standing desks, furniture, even bed mattresses, but one of their specialties are ergonomic chairs. Listen, let's all be honest here. We all know that one chair at your house or your workplace or your friend's house or somewhere you like to go that's just awfully uncomfortable, wanting to die, super old, jank, and awful, and that's where Flexispot comes in. Before Flexispot, I used to really struggle sitting at my desk editing all day because I had one of those like race car gaming chairs. But see, that all changed when I got one of Flexispot's ergonomic chairs. Right now, I'm sitting in their C7Max, pretty much their top dog. One of the main things that makes this chair so awesome is that it is super adjustable. It's got a 3D adjustable headrest. It's got an adjustable backrest. It can go up and down. Adjustable lumbar support. Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts. Adjustable seat depth and a 5D adjustable armrest. Another thing that's awesome is the seat cushion itself. It has a thin latex layer and then a thick memory foam layer underneath it. It's very soft, but it supports you well and it's comfortable for long durations. Like I said, I don't get uncomfortable editing my videos anymore. In fact, these things have replaced my shop chairs in a lot of the ways. Because good Lord, they're certainly more comfortable than those shop chairs. Another thing I really like, as you saw in the intro to this ad, it goes into relaxation mode is what I like to call it. It's got a leg rest and the back rest lays all the way back down. And then lastly, they're also durable and well built. These things actually have a 10-year warranty and a 30-day free return policy. So why not try it out? And they have a huge line of ergonomic chairs. They have ones that are even fancier than this, like their new C7 Morpher, or they have some more budget-friendly options like the C5. But either way, if you're interested, Black Friday is on at Flexispot. You guys can enjoy up to 60% off site-wide and get an extra $30 off on the C7Max with code C730. It's the biggest savings of the year, so if you're interested, grab yours now. I'll have a link in the description and up in the cards above. Thank you to Flexispot for sponsoring this video. So we have these locking slides, heavy duty, can hold a lot of weight. Essentially, we're gonna make mounts for them up here, and then we make a box out of some tubing to, be the shelf, and then you put some sheet metal on it. I think it's gonna be roughly this entire size, like maybe 45 inches wide, 1 foot. I think that's about right. Well guys, here it is. My big, loud, heavy duty kitchen drawer cabinet thing. I just weighed it. This bad boy comes in at 40 pounds. Getting a little worried about this weight issue, but we're just gonna keep going on and see what happens, see how heavy it is when it's complete. The sliders are rated for 150 pounds, so that at least will be fine. We're gonna have to put some sound editing on this, and I'm gonna have to weld it more. But with that being said, we are gonna go ahead and put the sliders on, and then we're gonna mount it to the rack. Once that's done, we can develop the opening and closing this part. Okay. Ooh, very nice. Close this here. Oh, that one's really good. So, you know, I'll open the tailgate and I can just go. Oh, that's so nice. This is what I was testing earlier. Can I still lift it up? It ain't that heavy, see? This one's a little finicky button. So that, the little kitchen setup is all finished. Slides out. Very nice. And pop, pop, opens up. Okay, I think the next thing we're gonna do is build the water tank. The water tank is gonna sit up here, kind of right behind the rooftop tent. It's going to be roughly the same shape as that, a little bit smaller. It's going to be 6 inches high and then, you know, 12 by the width. It's going to be approximately a 13-gallon tank, which is plenty for like a few days camping. And it's gonna have a hose and an air Schrader valve so you can pressurize it, so you can use pressured water. I'm just gonna make it out of aluminum, kind of like a little fuel cell. Kind of way overkill, but honestly it's still cheaper than buying like a plastic RV one, which is crazy. All right, we got the water tank all tacked together. Got the outlet down there. I made it with a little sump. So even, you know, because if this was up here, you wouldn't be able to use the full capacity of the water tank. So now we can use all 13.71 gallons. I'm gonna go quickly add a level gauge on the side here. Just kind of like a hose, clear hose. And then I'm gonna weld this bad boy up. Heck yeah, it's the low level. Woohoo! I'd say it worked.
It had some air in it.
Definitely had some air in it.
Yeah. Some of those things that fucking explode.
I know, exactly.
Like a pipe bomb in here.
Exactly.
You're laying on top of it.
That too. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you
go. Nice. Now. That's gonna work.
Like
That's
5 or 10 PSI
exactly.
would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll test
When there's
it.
water in it, it'll take way less air to go in to pressurize it.
Everything is working great, but this 45-degree angle shutoff valve isn't quite tight enough. So we're gonna have to return that and get a 90-degree. But look, it's gonna be so perfect. Hose fitting just like right there, quick disconnect. But we're gonna disconnect that for now and then mount the tank. Well, there we have it. Water tank is mounted. Once everything's painted, there will be a rubber strip going down the bottom frame to kind of isolate it, so that should be good. But we're nearing the end here. Is mounts for lights and other accessories, a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So we're really just gonna be starting off with 3 lights, and this is all from Auxbeam, so huge shout out to them for sponsoring this build. We've got their control panel for one, which is sweet, because we'll be able to easily wire everything and control it all from this one keypad, which I'm going to mount on the side of the kitchen. It's gonna be sweet. And then we're gonna have their rock lights for ambient lighting. I thought that would be sweet because they can be, you know, a warm white light, so it's nice and cozy lighting, or you can do RGB if you're trying to have a party. And they're adjustable brightness and stuff, so I think they're gonna be perfect camping lights. So we'll do that all around the rack. Then we have a pair of their pod lights that we're gonna put on the back for extra bright lighting, in case you need to load something or whatnot. Shut up.
More light.
And then we're also gonna put an LED strip inside the kitchen on the top there, so we can actually see in the cabinet. Eventually we'll put lighting underneath the tent and in the rack and up in the tent itself. The nice thing is that it'll be really easy to add lights using this keypad. So pretty much it's just like a solid state keypad, and then you have a relay box, and all you have to do is wire positive and ground to everything, and you're done. You even got a remote, exactly. How nice is that gonna be? Sitting around the fire, oh, we gotta turn the lights on, boop. Well, I think I'm gonna mount all this first. Has magically turned into a drift truck. Drift truck's out over here. The paint in this room looks a little better. I think it looks a little bit more purple. We got all the rack disassembled, the side mold panels off, the water tank, the shelf. It's time to paint this thing. So we're gonna start off, we're just gonna rattle can the actual rack itself. Doesn't have to be special. And then I'll use my spray gun to do the side panels to make sure that it's nice and even. Probably same thing with the shelf, or at least the lid for the shelf. So now cue sanding. Ooh. Well, I just finished painting the primer. I set my gun down to go mix up some of the trim black. It was in the stand, it's chilling. I left the room and I hear thunk. And I go back in and it fell. And of course it fell on the one thing that fucked it. So you can see right on these threads, broke this little fitting, and now it doesn't hold any paint, it just leaks. I don't think I can replace that either. I tried to take it out, there's an Allen key in there, totally stripped it out. So I'm pretty sure this paint gun is now garbage. A couple problems with that. For one, can't finish what we're doing right now. Secondly, can't paint the truck in time for Fall Double Down, which is what we're doing all this for. Now 2 of these pieces, the actual shelf and the door, I mean, they're good enough. I'm just gonna leave them primered black, right? But this is not good enough. You can see through it. I didn't have enough paint to go do enough layers in this. So now I have to rattle can this, which makes me sad. So we got the overlanding rack pretty much fully reassembled and all wired up, at least until I can get my battery all set up. But yeah, all the wires are ran, and I think from, at least when it's actually up on the truck, the wires are gonna be pretty hidden. Right now you can kind of see a lot, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and connect the positives to the ground and see if this keypad works. Aha, that does light up. So let me get this situated here and actually clamped down. So very bottom should be rock lights. And they work. Very cool. This one should be interior light. And then we should have bright lights. Oh yeah. And then whatever this is. The little ambers. That's full brightness. Pretty nice, honestly. Then you can do like red. Red will be nice when it's dark out. And keep it chill. Or I can do bright white. Pretty bright. Or different modes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sick. So now the rack is painted, reassembled, wired up, we can go ahead, put the tent back on it, the awning back on it, and then I'm gonna weigh it. Make sure it's under 800 pounds so that our winch doesn't break. I don't know if the winch will break or just not be able to lift it if it's over that. I think we'll be fine, but I wanna check. Bam. Shit. It automatically zeros when you turn it on, so I can't weigh it. Unless if I'm able to lift it first. Well, when you take it off, it's now negative 460 pounds. So to me, that means it's probably 460 pounds. So 460 pounds, that's great. That's half of what it has to be under, so we're totally fine. Even with full of water and all the stuff, we should be fine. You can definitely hear this thing struggles more. But it's doing it just fine. So that's pretty awesome. See how much this thing squats when it's fully put down. 210 millimeters. 198, so 12 millimeters. Not bad. So like, first of all, I gotta say, it looks more badass than I could have ever hoped for. It is exactly, looks-wise, what I want. So now imagine we pull up to camp. Gotta extend this, set that down. Here's the kitchen. That works out really nicely, because I'm gonna be cooking in here. It's not in the way, but it's perfectly far out. Like any farther out would have been too far out. Any closer in would have been just not hard to reach. This is the main battery cable to power everything in the rack. So pretty much what will happen is we'll put it down and just plug it into the battery. For now, that's just a jerry-rigged car battery. I have the rough country battery you guys saw in the last video, but I'll put this in here for now. So that's power. So we can, turn that on. What about these rock lights? Okay, Alexa, shop off. Oh, fucking yeah. So these are our rock lights here. I added switches to turn off the side lights so we can have just the kitchen running. So that's just the kitchen running. I think red, honestly, would probably be the most used. This is full brightness, I believe. Yeah. Now the only problem is that if you leave the rock lights running and then you want to turn this on, they have to like resync. So you either have to click the button again on the keypad or turn them on and off. And speaking about when you turn them on and off, they also sometimes have to resync. See how they kind of flash? So that might be annoying. I don't know. We'll kind of see how that goes. Ooh, whoa. Those are the ambers. They pretty much do nothing, but it's a good little just like amber light to have on. And then the floods are very bright. That'll be nice when setting up camp, or if like I hear some creepy noise in the woods, I'm like, well, what was that? Man, this keypad is sick. And the way I positioned the rock lights in this back area, there's like no shadows, which is perfect. That's what I was worried about, and we're good. Also, just kind of acts as ambient bed lighting too. Like, look at that. That's sweet. Well, I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Now, for some unfortunate reason, the back of these mold panels, where it's only self-etching primered, started just to totally peel apart. So I have no idea what that's about, but I'm gonna have to rattle can the back. Or maybe I'll just take these off at some point and powder coat them. Now this is quite a high shelf, but it is still nice to be able to put stuff on there. Yay, that's nice. We can hang things from the mold panels on this side and from the other side. I think that'll be useful. And then when you're done with it, just, you have to kind of prop up the fucking, that was a bit of a foresight issue there. They click in real nice though. This is the other side. Very nice. Let's try the water tank, I'd say. Unscrew the big guy. I didn't technically check for leaks, but I did pressurize this. You guys saw that, so it's gonna be hard for you guys to see it, but you use the quick release disconnect, take the cap off, then use the quick release to attach the hose. Make sure it's good. Then you can turn the water flow on. There we go. So this is just gravity, right? Just wash my hands, la 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 la. Let's change that. Oh my God, I can see it bowing out. That's scary. All right, so it's got 5 pounds of pressure in it, right? Oh yeah. Much better, but it does really build up. Like you can totally see it bowing out. That is scary. Still useful. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. The overlanding rack, or at least V1 of the overlanding rack, is done. And I'm very happy with the way it came out. Now it's just getting stuff for it. Like I wanna get some nicer kitchen things and whatnot. And I am already learning a few things that I want to change, like the gravity fed water tank doesn't really work, and pumping it with air pressure doesn't really work because there's so much surface area that it really, like I think it will blow up eventually. So we're gonna put a water pump on it, and we'll eventually have to get like a higher amperage battery setup so that it can run all these things for long periods of time. But everything else I really like. And we can start getting side accessories. So I like traction boards, some fluid containers, all that kind of stuff. Make it look like a proper rig. I still have 2, 4, 6, about 70 feet of metal to build rear bumper, front bumper, and rock sliders. And I have a winch, lights, wheels, tires, a lot of stuff for this thing. And that will all be happening pretty soon. But we gotta finish the drift truck, and then we've got some customers coming in. So it'll be a little bit of a break from the Tundra, but I hope you guys enjoyed this nonetheless. The first video didn't perform very well. I assume this one won't really either, but this was really fun to build. I had a really good time. And huge thank you to Auxbeam for sending out all the lights. And of course, Rough Country for the rooftop tent, the awning, the power bank, the fridge, all the actual overlanding stuff. I'll have links in the description to both of them. If you want to support the channel, please check out Patreon, where you can get early access to stuff, access to exclusive content, updates, all that kind of thing. Or you can check out EM Ministries, where you can get some merch or car parts. It all really, really helps. So appreciate anyone who does that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Toyota gang.